State, UConn playing its second game under associate coach George Blaney, whose first game filling in for Jim Calhoun was a win over St. John's a few days ago. Jerome Dyson, Stanley Robinson, the one-handed finish as the Huskies look for their first win against a ranked team this year. But then off the steal, it's Damian James. Texas takes advantage of some sloppy UConn basketball first half. 25 points off 14 UConn turnovers before halftime. That was James there. Here's James here for a three. He had 23. It's an 8-point Longhorn lead at the break. Second half, however, it's Jerome Dyson. On his way to a new career high. 32 points, Jerome Dyson. The steal and the finish of the whole thing. Tied at 52. Dyson, the step back. And off another Texas turnover. Kemba Walker finds Dyson. The Huskies outscored Texas 54-32 in the second half. Dyson will finish. Then it's back to Kemba Walker. Deep three. He had 19. UConn beats Texas 88-74. The Longhorns have lost 2 in a row now after they opened 17-0. The Huskies now 2-0 under George Blaney.
By former Wildcat John Telford. Early first half, Courtney Fortson drives, runs into Kentucky's DeMarcus Cousins, who loses 2 teeth. He was talking about it gingerly afterwards.
Courtney came in on a drive and he just hit me with his elbow. He knocked my 2 front teeth out. I mean, they've been knocked out before, but he just broke them again. But it's fine.
Oh, but Cousins would take a bite out of the hog.
Oh, I see what you did there.
See what I did?
Yeah.
All right, he had 16 points, 14 boards. Wildcats led by 30 at the break. They started the second half on a 14-zip run. There's Cousins again. John Calipari said of his team, as good as we played, we would have beaten a lot of teams today. John Wall up top to Eric Bledsoe. 16 points, 7 assists for Wall. 101-70 Kentucky. Arkansas has lost 10 straight to Kentucky. Cats will be number 1 for the first time since 03-04.
6th-ranked Duke upset at NC State Wednesday, playing at number 16 Clemson Saturday. Remember, the Dukies blown out here last season by 27. Trevor Booker, one of the few guys on either side scoring in the first half. Booker scored 10 of Clemson's 23 first-half points. It's 23 apiece at the break. Booker had 22 for the game. Now it's time for Nolan Smith, who has his own graphics package. Some one-on-one with Dickie V. That was before the game. During the game, he was just as effective. Second half, Smith for throw. Then Smith along the baseline. He had 22. Then the pump fake from the wing. It's a 14-2 Blue Devils run. John Shire, Kyle Singler. Singler had 12. Duke wins 60-47. They are now 16-3. Clemson lost at Georgia Tech Tuesday. Now they're beaten here by Duke to face Iowa State. And it's time to focus on the old Kansas front court. Second half, here's why. Marcus Morris. Oh, you got to block out. 2 of his 16. Cole Aldrich, anchor warning, this is not pretty. No!
Oh, good.
Yeah. Phil Self. Aldrich had 19 points. I told you. Aldrich 19 and 11. Tyshawn Taylor, Kansas wins. Jayhawks 18-1 after their 3rd straight 4-0 start in Big 12 play.
Number 4, Villanova trying to start 18-1 for the first time since the 1950s. They're also trying to start 7-0 for the first time in school history in the Big East. Closing seconds first half, it's Scotty Reynolds. Cuts the lead to 1 at the half. He had 19 on 6 of 12 shooting. He has shot 50% or better in 10 of his last 11 games. Second half, he finds Isaiah Armwood. Armwood with just 4 points, but luckily for him, we're showing all of them. Reynolds later finds Armwood again. Villanova wins 81-71, 7-0 in the Big East, 18-1 for the first time since the 1950-51 season.
Jim Boeheim and 5th-ranked Syracuse looking for their 6th straight win. The Orange hosting Marquette, and it's time for the transition offense. Early first half, Brandon Trish here, Wesley Johnson there. 22 points, 15 boards for Johnson. Now it's Scoop Jardine. The spin and the spot for Chris Joseph. One more look, please. Jardine, it's a no-look to Joseph, who had 14 points and 11 rebounds right there. I like the Marquette uni, sort of a throwback to the old Jerome Whitehead, Butch Lee.
Yes. Good call.
Second half, Darius Johnson-Odom blocked by Wesley Johnson. Andy Rutten's bounce pass to Johnson. Syracuse wins 76-71. They were 19-1. Marquette has now lost 7 straight on the road.
Snug finish between number 7 Michigan State and Minnesota. Spotty first half for Sparty. Kalen Lucas the steal. He thinks he has 2 points, but Jarrell Summers called for the offensive goaltending. Michigan State down 8 at the break. Second half down 10. Ralph Sampson III. Yeah, his dad is Ralph Sampson, former Houston Rocket great, coming up with the block. And then DeVoe Joseph, as in Belle Biv DeVoe, finding Sampson, who had 8 points, 7 assists for DeVoe. Now you know. Here's Lucas cutting the lead to 2 with a triple. And then Lucas another 3 from the top of the key. And the Spartans have their first lead of the game at 65-62 with less than 90 seconds to play. Lawrence Westbrook can't get the bucket to go. And Michigan State wins by 1. They are 7-0 in the Big Ten for the first time since '77.
Vols in Athens facing a Georgia team still looking for its first SEC win under new coach Mark Fox. Travis Leslie, the old reverse windmill. Hello, Georgia up 8. Bulldog, sophomore and leading scorer, Trey Tompkins. He came to play. He had 21, Bulldogs up 19. They hit 7 of 12 threes, while Tennessee hit just 3 of 16 from three-point range. There's Tompkins. Tennessee on the road, down 15 at halftime. Second half, Leslie had 19. Mark Fox gets that first SEC win, snapping Tennessee's 7-game winning streak.
Welcoming Oklahoma State into Manhattan, Kansas. Less than 2 minutes to go in the game. K-State's Denny Clemente. 3 of his 19. The Cowboys lead cut to 3. Moments later, Jacob Pullen. Another 3, almost in the same spot as Clemente. And the Cats are down 2 with a minute to go. K-State was 8 of 28 from 3. Obi Manello turns it over. Nick Sidorkis comes up with a steal right back. Has to save it inbounds to Roger Franklin, who was fouled on the play. He hit 1 of 2 from the line. Less than 10 seconds to go. K-State down 2. Pullen can't convert, and the Cowboys win 73-69.
Number 25, Ohio State at 12th ranked West Virginia. Buckeyes want some payback after the Mountaineers beat them by 28 last year in Columbus. Evan Turner down the other end. Cut off the David Lighty steal. Turner had 18 and 11. Now it's Williams. Buford. Deep 3. He had 22 points. Knocks it down. 11 points Saturday for John Diebler. Ohio State by 12 at halftime. Buckeye shot 55% in the first half. But look at Bob Huggins. How is the intensity of the halftime speech based on that look? And based on the way the West Virginia Mountaineers came out, it was pretty intense. Butler, they're back within 6. Darrell Bryant for 3. He had 14, 52 apiece. Butler, 16 of his 21 after halftime. Joe Mazzulla here. West Virginia wins 71-65. Ohio State had just 1 field goal over the game's final 8 minutes.
All right, South Florida and Providence. Big night for Dominique Jones. It's that little runner in the lane. Bulls down 3. Then, following inbounds possession, tips the ball to Jones, eventually recovers, swings it all the way around to Vincent Council, who hits the 3 with .2 left on the clock, and we're tied at 95, going to overtime. In the OT, more from Jones. 15 of 23 from the field, game-high 46, second most any Big East player has scored in a regular season game. Bulls win by 4.
11 seconds left. Devin Downey. We're going length of the floor. This is like Danny Ainge against Digger. Downey had 36. Gamecocks up 1. Florida has no timeouts. Chandler Parsons at the buzzer for the win. Oh. Buried it. Now, if you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, hasn't he done this before? You are correct, sir. January 3rd, Parsons, 3-quarter court to beat the buzzer and bury NC State. That was January 3rd. We get one more look at the one that beat USC. This one, he lets fly with less than a second to spare. Florida wins 58-56. They get to 14-5. But hold on. Watch redshirt sophomore Adam Allen. Guy can barely walk. He just had knee surgery. He wants in. Oh. Florida wins 58-56.
Lost Pittsburgh
Orange have won 6 straight. Georgetown in town on Monday night. You see how they've done against ranked teams, but Georgetown came out on fire. Austin Freeman, 4 for 7 on threes. Greg Monroe, open inside. Freeman back outside for 3 more. And then Freeman, Joker, and another triple. 23 points for Freeman. Georgetown starts the game on a 14-0 run. Jason Clark getting into the act there. But Chris Joseph said no game is won in the first 3 minutes. He was right. His teammate Andy Rautins got Syracuse right back in it. Rautins getting some advice from former Orange star Derek Coleman. And Coleman said, shoot the 3, dude. Syracuse only down 2. And then later in the first half, it's Rautins again. The 2 threes is only buckets from the floor, but he did go 9 of 10 from the line for his 15 points. And we put a timer on Rautins when he catches a ball until he releases it. Less than a second. Hard for any defender to get there. So Syracuse up by 5 at the half. Jim Boeheim said to go in at halftime with the lead was unbelievable. Coleman thought so too. Second half, it's Wesley Johnson. Rain's not a problem. Syracuse up by 11. They went on an 18-8 run to start the second half. And then Johnson comes over for the big block on Freeman. And then the putback block by Neil's favorite player, Arinze Onuaku. We go the other way. Rautins finds Johnson baseline, bucket and the foul. Johnson attacking the basket aggressively. Johnson 14 points, 9 rebounds. Jay Billis on the D turning into O.
After they got down 14-0, they took over the game and were able to score with their offense emanating from their defense. Andy Rautins was getting steals, blocked shots by Wes Johnson. When Syracuse plays defense like that, nobody else plays it quite the way they do. They're a Final Four team potentially.
All right, under 5 minutes to go. The Orange up by 14, looking to put it away. Rick Jackson to Johnson. That'll do it. Syracuse wins at 73-56. Here's the coach. They're in 10 trips. Tigers and Jayhawks hooking up there on Monday. We pick it up 30 seconds into the game. Xavier Henry, the alley-oop to Cole Aldridge. Kansas coming out swinging. Later in the half, Kansas up 9. Check out Aldridge on the defensive end. And then the outlet to Sherron Collins, who finished it himself. Bob Knight now on how good Aldridge was.
I don't think, Brent, I've seen a kid play as well around the bucket at both ends as Aldridge has tonight. Even here, you're going to see the kid mop up the floor. He does everything better than anybody else tonight.
That is full service. 6 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks in the first half for Aldridge. Finished with 12 points, 16 boards, 7 blocks for the game. Under 5 seconds to go in the half, Brady Morningstar trying to beat the buzzer, and he gets the roll. Everything working for Kansas. And Missouri trying to push tempo, but Kansas running right there with them. Kansas up 50-30 at the break. Second half, Jayhawks still in control, up 21. Morningstar to Markieff Morris for the big finish. Nice look by Morningstar. Big win for the Jayhawks, 84-65. They get to 5-0 in the Big 12.